This is Bruce Buffer, and this is the moment you've all been waiting for. It's time for the MMA-Holes!
Mixed martial a-holes. MMA-Holes, 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 MMA-Holes. You like to be a mixed martial a-hole. MMA-Holes, 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 MMA-Holes.
No way.
From the Aunts and Uncles Studios of Arizona, Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder, 3-fight week, UFC Vegas 39, fight week, bare knuckle, fight week, Brendan Schaub versus Ariel Helwani. Let's go with the MMA-Holes. I hit, instead of hitting this, I hit this, and then I hit this, and I was like hitting all the wrong buttons.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show, friends. Welcome to the Wednesday show. We're here, we're live, we're MMA holes, we're wonderful, wonderful.
Wonderful.
Jesse's got her tie-dye shirt on. I got my head rush shirt on with Hanging with the Boys.
Hanging with the boys.
Mackenzie Dern versus Rodriguez Saturday, and then we roll into Fury versus Wilder 3. Bare Knuckles happening as well, and I don't care. You know why I don't care, Bare Knuckle? Because they're killing people over there, and they didn't email us. So we're not going to talk about it. Anyway, Ariel Helwani today, we riled him up. Will Harris on Twitter. That was actually kind of fun. If you go on the Twitterverse, you can dig down that rabbit hole. We're trying to get the boys on our show. We're trying to get Ariel Helwani, Brendan Schaub on this show to hash it out. Helwani went crazy at the end of the MMA hour. I was going to say the MMA Holes hour because our show is like this. Mm-hmm. The MMA hour at the end, Ariel went fucking hard on Schaub, and it was pretty good. It was a good rant. I kind of like Helwani. I like when Helwani goes crazy. He gets very triggered with the Brendan Schaub situation, and it's wonderful. We'll get into that later. JBM, how are you tonight?
I'm wonderful, Moss. How are you?
No, let me ask you again. JBM, how are you tonight?
I'm wonderful, Moss.
Yes,
How
all
are
right.
you?
Now louder, how are you tonight?
I'm wonderful, Moss.
No, go. I'm wonderful.
I'm good.
Anyway, well, I'd feel the same way if I was wearing that shirt. Anyway, let's start off with Fury versus Wilder. It's happening. It's going down. It's Saturday night. I know we're an MMA show, but this fight is mega. We got a chance to check out the press conference. Fury is really fired up. Wilder's trying to stay chill throughout this whole lead up. And, I mean, how the chills that you got, Jess, watching the first fight recap and the second fight. The first fight goes to a draw, which I think was completely wrong, but you had the dramatic Fury rise as Wilder thought he won the fight at the last part of the fight. You had the rematch where he gets knocked out, Wilder. Now we have demanding for a trilogy. What are your thoughts on this fight, Jess?
I think that Fury's going to win, but I don't completely count Wilder out. When I was listening to the lead-up earlier today with some of the press conference interviews, Tyson Fury was saying that Wilder did knock him out. Like, he was out. He wasn't just, like, dazed or anything like that. He was out. But he also said that he had a dream the night before that he got knocked out and got back up. So Wilder does have that ability to knock Fury out. And Fury kept saying in one of the press conferences for one of the previous fights that everyone's been trying to knock him out, but nobody's done it. Well, Wilder did it, but Fury just got back up. So Wilder can do it. So I'm not going to count the guy out. I do think Fury's going to win this fight, but there's a part of me that's itching for the Wilder side, you know. as well.
If Wilder wins this fight, we're going to get a fourth. It is inevitable. We're going to get a fourth fight between these two. Would you be interested in seeing another one?
I don't think we're going to get a fourth fight.
100%.
I don't think so.
Why?
It just doesn't make any sense.
Money?
Well,
who else
what do you mean money? The boxing is so rigged you can put together any fight and get money.
But think about this. With AJ pretty much being out of the equation, who the hell else would you care about?
I don't really know boxing very well, so
no one else
what kind
there.
of question is
There's
that?
No one there. What, Andy Ruiz?
As far as you know.
Like, what else is there? These are the guys. These are the big guys. These are the superstars. These are the heavyweights. These are the guys that I get amped up for. These guys bring the casuals into the game. Usyk versus Fury? Get out of here. No one cares about that fucking bum. No one even knows who he is. Beating up on Anthony Joshua. No, thank you. Come on, what do you want? Tyson Fury to beat up an older guy that he's way bigger than... I mean, you know Fury's going to win that fight. No one cares. But with Deontay Wilder, in any fight, I mean, think about it. The man has one freaking loss, and that's to Tyson Fury. Every other fight, he knocked his opponent out cold. My man was un fuego. Let's look at the statistics here. Yeah, 42 1-1 is Wilder, right? 41 knockouts. Think about this. It's crazy. It's crazy on a guy that I have to be honest with you. Wilder's not the best boxer in the world. He really isn't when it comes to his technique. He's decent, but his bomb squat of a punch is what makes it very entertaining. This guy can kill you at any time in the fight. You never can count the man out. But Tyson Fury knocked him out in the last fight. And then the drama of Tyson Fury, Wilder saying Fury cheated and loaded up the gloves. Tyson Fury's like, I'm going to do it again and knock you the fuck out. Like, it's just, the juice is through the roof. I haven't been this excited about a boxing fight in years. Years. I'm talking Mike Tyson days. I haven't been this excited. I am genuinely pumped up about this fight. I believe the Gypsy King's going to win, but if Wilder wins this fight, mark my fucking words, this fight will be a quadruple effect. There'll be 4 fights, and it would be wonderful, wonderful.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Who are you picking? If you had to...
Like I said, I'm going with Fury. However, I'm not counting Wilder out. There's a part of me that wants to pick Wilder. I guess I don't know. Like, the logical side of me says to pick Fury. But maybe it's my heart that's saying to pick Wilder. I don't fucking know. Maybe because I picked Wilder the first 2 times, and eventually he's got to get him, right? So I don't know.
This fight going down Saturday night will be following the UFC Vegas fight night. It's almost like the UFC bent over and says, "Hey, listen, you can have this night."
Well,
you know,
I don't really. Well, maybe, but
enjoy.
But you got to think. Dana White knows that Aram's not gonna. He doesn't give a fuck about what's going on with the UFC, because at the end of the day, people are gonna spend more money on boxing.
Yeah. Now,
so mail it in for this time around, and save the good big fights for later on.
People are saying they don't give a fook about Fury Wilder 3. Blows my mind. It blows my mind. I think this fight's going to do fantastic. I really do. I think a lot of people are going to be amped up for it. And honestly, Tyson Fury's really selling it. The guy's got the gift of the gab. He really does. He's got that Conor-esque mentality, but the way he delivers his lines after actually proving that he can back it up in the ring is pretty special. This guy could be one of the best heavyweights of all time. If not, is the best heavyweight of all time. This guy is special. Coming from the doghouse of the drug addiction and mental health issues and the dark shadows, beating Klitschko, coming in there in a fight against Deontay Wilder. Let's be honest here. Tyson Fury won 2 of those fights. He won these first 2 fights. I don't know how the hell they said that was a draw. It blows my mind that they said it was a draw. Actually, it doesn't, because it's boxing. Boxing likes to have, rematches and trilogies and quadruples. They like to do that. So I wouldn't be surprised if this thing goes 4. But I'm pumped up. I'm really pumped up. If Wilder flatlines Fury, I mean, that's gonna be something special. Or what if? Do you think that Fury's got it in him again, where he can get dropped and do that dramatic rise?
Zombie rising from the dead? Yeah, I do actually. You know what's weird is, and they were replaying it earlier when I was watching it. He got to a 7 count before Fury's eyes just popped open and he got back up within that last 3 seconds of the count. I have a feeling that if Fury were to get dropped again, which is entirely possible, if he were to get dropped again, it would be a very similar situation. I think Fury would, he was knocked out, but he would use that time up as much as he possibly can and wait for that final second and then get right back up.
41 men have been dropped with the bomb and weren't able to get up. But Tyson Fury somehow got his ass back up. It's pretty wild. It's pretty wild. Like both guys. I like Deontay Wilder a lot. Actually, I picked Wilder in the first fight, and I should have got that one wrong. I went right over to Fury in the second fight, but I think Deontay Wilder is a fun guy to watch. Anytime that guy's competing, he says he may only have 3 fights left, and that's it. He wants to win this belt, and I don't know what else the hell he wants to do. Who knows? But maybe the 3 fights are Fury. Maybe we're going 7 fights. I don't know, man. You never know with these guys. But I'm pumped up. Remember this: Deontay Wilder's 35 years old. He looks young because black don't crack. But 35 years old. Did you know he was 35?
I really don't care how old they are. I just want to see the fight.
Well, I'm just saying, that might be, it's 35.
So,
it's not like
Fury's older, right?
No, he's 32.
Really?
Yep.
Huh, he looks older.
He does. Well, he was a drug addict and alcohol, whatever the hell he did. Substance abuses. 6'9", Fury. 6'7", Wilder. Wilder shredded
so
up.
Fury's younger than Wilder.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to that's nuts.
I didn't know that.
Well, black don't crack. But what do you think about Wilder walking out in another costume? He made an excuse after excuse.
So, do you know what kind of costume it is he's walking out in, or
I'll show you.
Is it as heavy as the one that he was wearing before?
I would assume not. That would be
because the whole thing with the second fight was that the costume weighed like an outrageous weight, and he couldn't. It kind of gassed him before he even got there.
Here's the costume that weighed him down. Here's the reason why he lost the fight. Okay, here's the second fight costume over here, and it looks like something from He-Man. But there he is, all dramatic coming. I don't know what the fuck he was thinking, to be honest. It was all dramatic and everything. There's a new costume, and let's see.
There's a picture of the new costume?
Yeah, there's a video of it. It's actually pretty. It's got fucking laser beams.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man. Here, there it is. But I want to see the...
It's the same thing.
Well, it's similar, but hold on.
Oh, my goodness.
The baby's having a blast over there.
She doesn't approve of Wilder's costume. Wilder just needs to just walk out with a regular boxing robes, his classy ass. That's what I would think, right? If his excuse the second time around was that the costume was too heavy and he got gassed before he even started the fight, all right, fair. But then why would you go and do it again the third time around? It kind of like devalues your excuse for the second fight, Well,
no, what he's going to say is, the costume was too light. That's what I lost. I lost because my costume was too light.
Black Burger King says what? B-Man says Fury walkout was better getting carried in. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Okay, ready? Here we go.
It's the same freaking thing. If anything, it's probably heavier now.
Look at this thing.
Because it's got all that crazy stuff going on.
It's got laser beams. Lasers. There it is. Look at that thing. What do you guys think? So he went from this thing, this weird-ass thing, to laser beams. He's got lasers shooting out of his head and his arms. This doesn't look light. It don't look light at all. Oh God, this guy had a ton of excuses, and that's one of the. It's kind of turning me off on Wilder a little bit here. The excuses after the fight. Take it like a man. The gloves, the this, the that. There's videos all over the place. People slipping into our DMs. Bro, you got to wake up, bro. Fury's a cheat. And I'm like, oh my God. And then you got Fury in interviews just laughing. Just like laughing. It's like, come on. But yeah, there's Wilder's costume. What do you guys think? On a level of 1 to gay, what do you think this costume? How do you rate this? Some mums do have one deserves to get his ass kicked. Wow, Wilder is coming out of the closet soon. All I want is laser beams shooting out of my fucking freaking head. Laser beams. Yeah, he's gonna be walking out this thing, and then they gotta take this thing off. Like, so as he's in the ring. They got looks like, oh man, they're all voting gay. From 1 to gay, they're all saying gay. Yeah, so we all wouldn't say that to Wilder's face, of course, but on the internet we can. Jess, what do you think? 1 to gay, what do you rate this?
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say it's gay, but I'm gonna give it a 1.
It looks like it's at a gay rave. Macho man. Deontay is a macho man.
Yeah, he's going to lose against his DG. Jason P says Voltron. Richard Lopez says LOL Moss. Nobody says I tell him to his face.
Yeah, my ass.
Nick Good says.
Not one person in this chat. 10 of you together wouldn't tell this man to his face that.
Gerg, female dog, says tape Conor's shin bone on it. Drunk Savage says gay Megatron. Joe
Wait,
B,
is
it's
that
raining
actually?
men.
Is that him though? Is that female dog?
I would assume so. I mean,
I don't know. That could be like BLT pretending it's him. I don't know. Is that really him? That's actually a pretty funny line. Yeah, he's got to make this out of Conor McGregor's shin bones.
Appreciate you, Shroom, says C. Trizzy. Joe B says, I'm coming out. I want the world to know. Get to let it show.
He walks
Gotta
out.
let it show.
I'm coming out. Da-na-na-da-da-da. He's walking up to the ropes. Ba-na-na-na. Hey boys, you ready for some boxing?
Wonderful.
Never will we make these jokes to his face. Oh man.
Let's see. Titanium Shinbone says Steve 100 to join us XMMA on the 23rd. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Living in America says DG. Fury cheated says Big Fat Paulie. Aldriel says unbreakable titanium shinbone.
That's right.
Give us your best.
Oh snap! Here we go, Beam-It.
Like, oh my God.
Maybe this is why Ariel doesn't come on our show.
My God.
He doesn't like the fact that we have him slapping
My
asses.
God. Really? Look at that butt.
But yeah.
Butt.
But.
Butt. 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 Oh my God.
Yeah, B-Man.
This one's for Helwani.
You know what? As that donation played, that's what jumped in my head. Do you think this is one of the many reasons why Ariel is completely
No.
ignoring the MMA-Holes?
No,
He doesn't
I think
that
he's
we found
ignoring
this-
us because, like,
Look at him.
what is he gonna get out of engaging? You know, it's just gonna
I'm
make him
not
look
punching
triggered.
down. Shut up. Well, all right. We'll get back into the wilder stuff quickly in a moment, actually. But yeah, on Twitter, we had a little fun, and the Schmo put something out. I'll show you guys real quick. Let's see if I can find it. I got to go to replies. This is why I love Will Harris. Will Harris, he is he's one of the nicest guys. Seriously, Will Harris. If you don't know, he does Anatomy of a Fighter. He has the footage, he is the man who supplied the footage of Conor throwing the hand truck through the window. Like, that was Will Harris's footage. Mm-hmm. And apparently they didn't pay him for that, which is kind of messed up.
He should have demanded it.
He is. It's the anniversary and he's going nuts on Twitter. Will Harris goes nuts on Twitter. Like, the dude is tweeting every 5 seconds.
There's nothing wrong with that. It's
He's
Twitter.
yelling and screaming at everybody. He's just mad and angry, and I kind of like it. So we put on, and we know he's cool with the Schmo, excuse me, the Schmo and Ali Abdelaziz. So we put this tweet out, right? And it just opened up. Hold on a second. Where is it? I got to dig a little bit. Tweets and replies. Where is it? Okay, so many fucking tweets. There's so many fucking tweets in this thread. Once you find a thread,
just
you can
click one
find
of
it
them
yourself.
and then scroll. It'll just give you the whole thread.
Yeah, I'm looking for ours. Okay, so this tweet over here just set off a bomb. And thank God Will Harris got involved in this because that dragged Ariel in. So the first tweet, Jesse, what was it from the MMA-Holes?
Wow, Ariel Helwani must have really done something wrong if all of Ali Abdelaziz's guys are only doing interviews with this odd fella.
Yeah, and the odd fella being the Schmo. Now, I could have said this piece of shit, this fag. Like, I could have said all these other things. But I said odd fella. I try to be nice, you know. Just try to bait. And it kind of worked because Will comes in.
Yes, Anatomy of a Fighter says, haha, Derek Brunson was just on Ariel Helwani's show, bro.
Okay. So I responded the exact same time as Helwani, actually. We responded
So
this.
Helwani said, yeah, because he's a real one. And the MMA Hill said, yeah, that's because Blonde Brunson does whatever the hell he wants.
Yeah. So we literally simultaneously, so I'm like, oh shit, Ariel got involved in this. So then you click on the old Ariel thing, and it just, here we go. Like the
Will
floodgates.
Harris says, stop it, LOL. Helwani says, stop what? You know exactly what I'm talking about. Let's not pretend the last 3 years didn't happen. Stop playing.
So now I'm like, Smithers, I'm all in. I'm like, this is amazing. Just planting the seed, watching it blossom right in front of my very eyes. I am loving every minute of this. We clearly jumped on something that Ariel has a soft spot with. He doesn't get any of Ali Abdelaziz's guys on. Yes, Derek Brunson came on, and Kayla Harris is one of his guys. But everyone else, like Ali, does not like. But in fairness, Ali doesn't let his guys go on our show either. Like it's all media. It's not just Ariel. But the schmo must be sucking all their dicks. I don't know how the schmo, out of all guys, Ali's like, yes, let's let that guy in. Like I don't understand how that works. But somehow the schmo got into the group. So whatever. What else happened here?
Anatomy of a Fighter says, I have no clue what the hell you're talking about, bro. If you think I have that much inside info, you are crazy. I got my own wars and beefs.
Now, it goes in a gazillion directions. Like, it goes in all different ways, and like, you know, here we are. But Ariel's responding. I probably skipped a bunch.
Anatomy says, my own, in fixing his last tweet. You haven't seen my threads over the last day, big time guy.
Will Harris don't give a fuck.
Ariel Helwani said, stop it, man. You're better than this. I have no issue with him, and you know this. I've said this 100 times. I'm not the one who is banning people from talking to anyone for no reason.
Oh, I love it.
I'm not the one calling bosses to get people fired, spreading lies. Stop with this nonsense. Will Harris responded, I appreciate you thinking I have that much know or influence to know, but all I do know is whatever the drama or beef is, it's hurting the sport and the fighters. Regardless, that is my say.
This is amazing. So I'm just sitting here like, this is great. Now, this is happening right before Ariel's about to go live on the MMA Hour. So he must be like sitting at the desk or something, getting ready, doing his makeup, and tweeting. Now
Helwani responds and says, I do. All good, though. Now you know. And if you don't want to get all defensive, don't tag me next time. Meanwhile, which, by the way, Moss is the one who tagged Ariel.
No, but what happened is Will followed up and had him tagged too. So Ariel,
when you reply, it'll tag everyone who's tagged in the tweet.
Well, yeah. Well, Ariel sees check mark next to the name, and Ariel's like, let me get my nose involved. Let me snoop into this situation.
So Will Harris said, they can think what they want, but the same fight he's fighting, I have my own similar fight, and that is why I could give a fuck about the MMA politics. I shoot my films and be ghost.
Yeah, now other people are just chiming in. I just basically sat back and watched this bullshit.
And then he also said, nah, I am not the one to get defensive, man. That isn't in my character attributes. Not over MMA pettiness. My life is more complete than that. But like I said, get y'all shit together. Two grown-ass men with political beefs can simply get on the fucking phone and talk.
Whoa. So Will Harris is trying to play... what's more?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Does he respond? Oh, Ariel's
back.
He doesn't stop.
So Ariel said, there you go fibbing again. Stop pretending it's a two-way beef street here. He knows I've reached out when he was sick. Before that, after that, I've done my part. This is one-sided, and the fighters are the only ones affected. Respect to Derek and Kayla. Moving on. Peace and love. And then Will Harris responded, now, how the hell do I suppose you reached out to Ali about him being sick? I don't talk to that guy like that. But yes, move on and continue to be great, and so will I. And there were no replies.
Yeah, so then Ariel checked out. He's got a show to do, and Will was playing around with everyone else. So yeah, if you just jump it in, this simple little tweet just started that whole. It just I'm so. Oh yes. Oh yes. I'm so proud. And then it rolls over. Ariel does his show, does the interviews, and then at the end of the show, Ariel goes off on Brendan Schaub.
Yes. Which I didn't hear yet, so don't talk about it.
He went nasty.
I want to listen to it.
He went nasty on Brendan. So then we put out a tweet that we made a proposal, and we need some help on the Twitterverse at the MMA-Holes. We need you to go over there. Of course, retweet our show for tonight and retweet this post over here, because I think Ariel Helwani and Brendan Schaub, if you don't come on the show and hash us out, you're pussies.
Ooh.
Flat out pussies. I don't give a fuck if Brendan Schaub has been inside the octagon. I don't give a fuck if Ariel Helwani's got the biggest MMA show on the internet. Come on, the fucking edgiest. Okay?
I'll be nice. Moss will ask the hard-hitting questions, and I'll be like The moderator.
No, I'll be the moderator, and you'll be the moderator, and we'll both throw zingers in there. We'll both moderate, Jesse.
I want them to think there's going to be a nice person here, even though there won't be, Moss. You know, so that they are more inclined to come on.
Sometimes you're rude to our guests.
I just don't want them to believe there's going to be a nice person here.
Good cop,
You're
bad
not
cop?
helping me
okay,
here,
fair
Moss.
enough. Check out this post over here. This is the post we put out on Twitter. We need some tweets over here.
Here's our proposal. Ariel Helwani and Brendan Schaub come on the MMA-Holes to clear the beef. We will moderate the debate completely unbiased. We will ask the hard-hitting questions. We will finally put this drama to rest. Let's see who's got the balls to come on our show.
Sonosi, the reason why they would come on our show is to put aside everything.
Ooh,
listen to this, Sonosi. Hold on a second, Sonosi. Sonosi likes to throw sand. Listen.
He's trying to jab that screwdriver in Moss.
Sonosi.
Prison style.
Here's the deal. The reason why you go on the MMA-Holes, one, we are the rawest show on the internet. Like, we are straight up the rawest show on this fucking internet. Two, you go on a smaller show here to prove that it's not all about you. It's not all about the glitz and the glam. It's about settling the beef. That's what we're doing. If you go on a big show, it becomes about that big show that you're on. It's all fake. You go on this show, we ask the real fucking questions. We fucking spit truth over here. We're raw. We're not like fluff handing out questions before interviews. We're not paying guests or doing any of that shit. You come on here, you get the job done. Now, Sonosi, you run off with your tail between your legs and stop naming the studio. Anyway.
All right.
No, Sonosi, that's the truth. The truth is, you go on a raw show if you want raw answers. You go on a big show to get the fucking fluff questions thrown at you. If you got a ball sack, you come on the MMA-Holes. Like, Bruce Buffer came on our show. Why would Bruce Buffer go on the show? Huh? Sonosi? The biggest announcer ever in UFC history. The guy, the voice of the Octagon coming on the MMA-Holes. The guy that gave us his phone number. Bruce Buffer, the guy that let us send him a bidet. Why would Bruce Buffer come on the show, Sonosi? Feel free to answer that question, buddy. Anyway, all right, let's get back into the stories over here. Jesus Christ.
And I'll take that check, Sonosi.
All right.
Lee Cole says, what happens?
Dare you question us. Now shut up and retweet and stop being a coward. Sonosi's like, I'm scared to retweet this.
Oh, boy. Anyways. All right, let's move on to some news, Moss.
All right, give me some stories.
Let's get into it. I actually have a story about John Jones today. It's kind of the same shit that he's been going through, but...
I don't care about John Jones. We have nothing about Tyson Fury, nothing on those guys, huh?
Well,
Fury
no news. I mean, you just talk about it. I mean, honestly, like, what news are you expecting to get? Let's just fucking talk about what's going on, and then that's that.
Aha.
You know?
Nice.
Doink, 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 doink.
Izzy.
Doink, doink, doink. Doink, 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 doink. Doink, 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 doink.
You make him lose the fight terribly inside of the cage. You make him spread his ass cheeks. Now you enter his backstage and you fill it with your rage. Come on, style bender, one fight. Izzy is inside COSTA. Izzy is inside COSTA.
Come on, D-Man, what you got?
Fury finna push Wilder's feces in. Dern's finna choke that other be out MV game serial gain will school that one big ass motherfucker Cejudo should come back and fight testosterone replacement therapy Vitor Belfort in boxing.
I'm with it. Thank you very much,
Yes,
D-Man,
sir.
for the donation. By the way, I want to give a shout out to Clayton Fitzgerald. 2 donations came in after the buzzer on the last show. We put on our community section, and one of the answers I'll give you, we started watching...
I'll be right back.
Squid Games. I don't know where she's going, but we started watching Squid Games. 2 episodes in. It's interesting. I'll give you a thorough review on the second channel. Thank you for the donation. Appreciate that. Here we go. Let's see what else we got here. Glove touch.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Speaking of that big fag piece of shit cunt loser that I can't fucking stand named David Schmielenson, also known as the Schmo. He spared Justin Gaethje. He's a bitch. He's a fucking bitch. Justin took him down and shoved his cock in his ass, no homo.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. We're with you, Glove Touch. We're with you. Okay, let's get into the news.
All right, so, did you see GSP sneak up on Khabib Nurmagomedov during that interview?
That was like 2 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago, maybe.
Doesn't matter when it happened because they're only putting the article out on it now.
Okay, I did see it.
All
Yeah.
right, you don't have to go into it. If you guys want to see it, it's on the website.
Yeah.
I believe on Instagram, I can't remember the account that posted. Oh, here we go. Arnold Sports UK.
Yeah, we saw this.
Is the account that posted it. Pretty cool, though. This is the first time I've seen it. And,
because GSP's still running around with that fucking
that was such a
12-year-old
cool
haircut. Like, what the hell's on his head? No, thank you. I'm good. You know what I want to see? Now, if Tony Ferguson came out and gave him a surprise, choke, that would be funny. But I don't give a shit. Like, this fight was never going to... I mean, literally, like, this was a joke from the very beginning. At least Tony Ferguson they tried to make. This thing wasn't even ever happening.
Yeah.
So, just like the Anderson Silva fight with them. It was never happening.
All right, well, moving on. According to Matthew Wells and Ken Hathaway of MMA Junkie, Dana White says most UFC fighters don't want you to know what they make.
Yeah, so this is part of that that press conference.
Yes.
With bare knuckle, the whole thing.
And we'll touch on that too. UFC President Dana White provided a different argument in regards to fighter pay on Tuesday evening. Last week after Dana White's Contender Series 41, he railed Oscar De La Hoya for calling out how the UFC pays its fighters. White brought photocopies of an event payout from a De La Hoya promoted event and passed them out to the media in attendance before going on a fiery rant addressing multiple questions about fighter pay like never before.
Wait, this is old too. Where are you finding these stories?
Moss, this is today.
Wait, hold on. He did this already though. He did this.
Okay, this article is today.
Who posted this? MMA Junkie posted this today?
Yes, Matthew Wells and Ken Hathaway today, October 6th.
This is the De La Hoya fights with the pay. We covered this like 2 weeks ago.
No, Dana White's saying that most fighters don't want you to know what they make. He's not talking. They're making reference to the Oscar. Are you listening to this article?
Okay. You're saying so he passed out the papers back then, and then okay.
You really know how to shit on the news today,
I don't know.
Moss.
I feel like it's the same fucking story. I don't know.
My God. All right, so Dana White said at the Contender Series post-fight press conference, he said, "It doesn't matter to me if these guys want to let you know what they make. You guys asked Kevin Holland the other day, and what did he say? He said people were hitting him up for money after I said it. Most of these guys want what's called an LOA, which is a letter of agreement, where you don't get to see their money. Most of the fighters want an LOA. They don't want people to know how much they make, and you can imagine why they don't. People start coming out of the woodwork and looking for money when they think you got it. With an LOA, the promotion and the fighter would be able to agree on payment terms that are not disclosed to the commission. Essentially, this would be a shorter agreement between the two parties with different details such as pay. If payouts are to remain out of the public eye, how does White feel about his fighters revealing specifics around the other business numbers, like when Conor McGregor recently posted a pay-per-view receipt with specific numbers on social media? So all these people who are coming around saying that they want more fighter pay and people are giving the UFC shit for fighter pay, basically what Dana White's saying is, how could you be saying all that when you don't even know how much fighters are making? You know, fighters are signing these LOAs because they don't want you to know that they're actually making decent money.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I kind of want to know what they're making. I do, but I understand why they want to hide it. You
because
know,
they're not making no money.
They're not making. That means they're making money.
Yes, Moss. That is what I was implying.
Yeah. If they're not making no money, they're making money.
Yes.
So, what are you trying to say?
Oh God. Moss.
I don't understand.
I just said.
You said they're not making no money.
All of these people coming out of the woodwork saying that there's no fighter pay and this and that. Basically, what Dana White's trying to say is, how could you say that? You don't even know how much these fighters are making. They're signing LOAs because they're making decent money.
Yeah, I'm with Dana. I've been ranting about this forever. Everyone that complains about fighter pay needs their fucking head examined. Like, Dana White has laid this down. He's basically said, find a fight organization that's paying their athletes, their fighters, more than what the UFC is paying, right? No, there's no other organization. And if you want to start paying your fighters, start an organization, start paying it. He was talking about, well, you're going to roll into the bare knuckle thing, right, with the injury?
If you want that to be the next one.
Yeah, because that would be a good one to roll into, because he was going on and on about how in all the time he's been doing this, what was it, 7,000 fights or something he was saying.
I got it right here.
One fighter. You have that quote? Okay, so let's roll into that.
So,
and this is where the money's. It doesn't just go to the fighters. It goes a million different directions. It's a freaking business.
So
I don't understand what people don't understand. Now, if I'm a fighter, of course, yes, I would want to make more money. I do believe the fighters should make more money. Yes, I'm with people on that. But at the same time, there's a reason why the UFC is successful and it keeps growing, and fighters progressively are making more money, because They're a business. If you just start just giving everyone absurd amount of money and you're not, taking care of their health and shit like that, here, go on to the story.
All right, so according to MMA Fighting Newswire, Dana White reacted to the tragic death of the BKFC fighter Justin Thornton. He said, is anybody shocked? So you guys already know the story, and so I'm going to skip all that mumbo jumbo.
Hold on, let me address Kenny True.
Okay.
He says, bro, if you're the best in the world, you deserve fucking millions, not thousands. Listen, let me just say something here. Being a fighter, there is multiple aspects of the game. You have to sell yourself as well. The platform of the UFC is proven to make you a superstar and give you the opportunity to earn those millions, okay? It is a stage that the UFC gives you. They put a nice check next to all your names on social media. They give you the exposure, okay? It's a matter of what you do with it as well, okay? This is not baseball, basketball, hockey, soccer, whatever the fuck this is not team sports. This is one business with a roster of athletes. I don't understand how you can't get through these thick fucking heads.
Bruce is a G for coming on. Those two mofos have too much ego to ever never go on the MMA-Holes. Probably think it's a grift or simple clout. But Fook, weaponize those MMA contacts to get the shout out as a middleman.
We're gonna
again bravo for that tweet.
We're gonna get one of those cunts on. Or they're scared.
All right.
That's it.
So basically what Dana White said was, he said, first of all, is anybody shocked? I mean, in bare knuckle fighting, I'm not a big fan, and I get it. I guess I would call it a concern when I see some of our people when they leave here and they go there. It's like, oh my God. But when you look at this, we've been putting on fights for 25 years. I've done over 7,000 fights with no serious injuries in the UFC. And then he continued on.
Not one injury, if you could think of, like, there's no deaths in the UFC because of all the precautions. If there's a video floating around of as soon as Ortega, they're about to make the announcement of the Ortega-Volkanovski fight. He walks over to Ortega. He goes, no matter what the outcome is, whether you win or lose, you're going to the hospital.
Yeah. He
wants them to get into an ambulance and go straight to the freaking hospital because Dana White doesn't want anything happening under his freaking promotion.
Right. So he said every year we spend over $20 million on athletic medical, $20 million a year, health and wellness or whatever it may be. And 25% of our athletes we send to specialists. So a guy will come and his brain test won't come out. It'll be irregular. So we send him to a specialist. If something was irregular with his heart, he or she goes and sees a heart specialist and we spend the money to find out whatever it is that's wrong with him. And as a result of that, our pre-fight screening throughout the last 20 years, we found 10 athletes that had life-threatening medical problems with them and career-ending that they shouldn't be fighting.
Yeah. Hold on. I got a guy right off the top of my head. What's his name? Whitaker. Robert Whitaker. If he went on and fought, who was it? There was a fight he was scheduled. Was it a Romero fight, or I can't remember which one it was, but he had to pull out. He had something going on, an intestine thing. And if they didn't test him properly for this thing, the guy could have freaking died. Right? He could have freaking died. Like, if it was any of these other promotions, he probably would have fought and died in the freaking ring. It's the thing. Aljamain Sterling, everyone's giving Aljamain Sterling heat for not fighting about his neck and this and that. The doctor said, hey, he's not going to fight. They can't do a 5-round fight.
So he said they found 10 athletes that had life-threatening medical problems with them and career-ending, that they shouldn't be fighting, that if they weren't in the UFC, they probably would have fought and they probably would have died. So we shouldn't even be talked about in the same sentence as bare-knuckle boxing. It's two completely different worlds, and yes, we're very sorry to hear that this guy passed away, but you're never going to see any of those other organizations doing the type of health and safety and medical testing that we do for our athletes.
Now, granted, they make a lot more money, so they have the leeway. They can actually move from certain fights. They could substitute other pretty elite athletes to fill in and blah, blah, blah. They can navigate around it, where these other promotions don't have that luxury. If a fighter can't fight, they try to get someone on short notice. Next thing you know, they have a completely lopsided fight, and then look what happens.
Yeah.
Like, it's a tough situation, but it's hard. I don't understand. Yeah.
I just, real quick, I have to leave for about 20 minutes because I have to put her down for a nap, but I will be back. I will do my best to be back.
Okay.
Okay? So take it away, Mom.
Yeah. I don't understand why. I mean, I guess I do. Right? If you think about the fight game when it comes to MMA, UFC's the top dog, right? They're the top dog. So no matter what, they're gonna get the most criticism. They're also gonna get more people nipping at their heels to try to take over, to try to overthrow them, to try to tear them down. That's how it works. Maybe it's because of Dana White's personality. You know, maybe it's because he's a bigger than life personality. When he gets on the mic, he pisses a lot of people off because he's so blunt with his not all the time honesty, but he's blunt with his opinion. Maybe people can't wrap their heads around this shit. But as he throws these numbers out there, and he's constantly proving people wrong, as he drags the organization through COVID and keeps on putting on events, no one got seriously injured or ill through this COVID thing. He opens up this facility in freaking Abu Dhabi, and he's freaking having fights over there when everyone else is shut down, having people still working through a pandemic, giving people jobs, okay? I'm not saying Dana White's a fucking saint, but what I'm saying is he's damn good at his job. When does it get to the point where people just look like complete assholes for constantly criticizing a guy that's keeping something that they love in front of their faces? When does it get stupid? You know? We owe nothing to Dana White. Honestly, if you think about it, the guy doesn't come on our show, ignores every one of our tweets and whatever. Whatever it is, he ignores it, right? So, if anything, we should be sitting here and throwing him under the bus every 5 fucking seconds. But I can't. I can't do it because, honestly, I don't get it. The guy's really good at what he does. The guy's a great promoter. The guy may every once in a while throw his fighters under the bus and say the wrong things here and there. But at the end of the day, the guy knows how to run a business. And it's the reason why the UFC keeps on getting better and better. It's the reason why the UFC will eventually surpass boxing. It's inevitable. It's skyrocketing. So I don't get it. What's up with the MMA media always trying to slam on Dana White? Oscar De La Hoya, I get he's jealous. These other promotions out there, you know, like, I get it. Like, Jake Paul is constantly pulling from Dana White these fighters because, yeah, I could beat these guys. But at the same time, Dana's done a great job in building these athletes that are creating names for themselves. There's a reason why everyone's nipping at Dana White. And he's got to be laughing his ass off when he's at home, kicking his feet up in the air and reading these tweets, reading these fucking stupid articles. On a daily, we get people fucking sliding into the DMs or just responding to us about things about fighter pay and shit like that. And it's like, yes, I think fighters should make more. I think fighters should get health insurance. Of course, when we had Devin Clark on, yeah, my man should get some health insurance. I'm with you. But they're still trying to build their brand. One of my favorite NFL players, Lawrence Taylor, one of the greats, cokehead phenomenon, Lawrence Taylor. He wasn't making the money these athletes are making today. The guy was the greatest linebacker of all time. LT. He wasn't making linebacker money that they're making now. In 20 years, these UFC fighters are going to be making a fucking fortune. We're 20 years into the game. It's crazy. It's so nuts, and I see it constantly. Constantly, people just shitting on him over and over again. It's nuts, and in every fucking press conference, it's him saying these things. Now, talking about the death with bare knuckle, okay, and he says he can't wrap his head around the whole bare knuckle situation, okay. I guess when you're at a stage that he's at the top of the game. He's got a sport that's been safe throughout his whole career as a UFC promoter, right? Then you have an organization that's a little risky like bare knuckle. Now, keep in mind, I love bare knuckle. I really do. I enjoy their product tremendously. A lot of times I'll watch bare knuckle and think it's better than the UFC. It's more entertaining than the UFC. I don't think Dana White's threatened by that. I just think he thinks like Bruce Buffer thinks. When Bruce Buffer came on the show, we brought up bare knuckle. He's kind of like, it's not my cup of tea. You know, not into that. And maybe Dana White feels the same way. You know, he's a purist with boxing. He loves MMA, whatever. Bare knuckle has a guy that dies. A match is made where 11-1 fighter fights a 6-18 guy. Guys pushing 40. And then here's another problem with bare knuckle that is arising. A lot of these guys are pushing 40 or 40 plus. Guys at the end of their careers getting this shit kicked in freaking in the UFC, Bellator, wherever. All these years of competing in martial arts or boxing, constantly getting repetitively hit in the head, at the end of their career, going to a sport where the gloves are off now. It's interesting. It's an interesting way to look at it. Never really looked at it like that. I kind of looked at it as like, hey, these guys are beating the shit out of each other. It's fun. Maybe bare knuckle has to start getting younger, you know? Producing like the Caleb Harris's out there, these young guys that are just, grown within bare knuckle. I think they could do that. A situation like this, I would hope that bare knuckle gets a little bit better with the matchmaking, So this is like shooting fish in a bucket for Dana. The media is, by the way, the media is bringing this up. And this is another thing. People think that Dana White just goes to press conferences and says, hey guys, I want to talk about this. If the media never brought this shit up, Dana would never talk about it. If interviewers never asked Dana these questions, Dana wouldn't talk about any of this stuff. Remember, it's the media trying to rile Dana White up so they can fucking get stories and headlines. And then what happens? The MMA fan buys into it and starts hating Dana White because they're just following the narrative of the writer of the story. The media member who's making all their money because of Dana White and shitting on the guy that's is getting them paid. It's just wild. It's a wild phenomenon. So long story short, I don't understand. Jared says, how much is Dana paying you? Like I said in the beginning, we don't owe Dana a damn thing. We don't owe a damn thing. It's not like Bruce Buffer. Bruce Buffer's came on the show, So we can kiss his ass all we want. Hey, we want Bruce Buffer back on. Let's kiss his ass. Dana White's never been on the show. We've had no interactions with Dana White at all. We're just fans. Like most of you out there, just fans. I'm throwing facts out here. So everyone that's just shitting on the guy, he's just laughing. He's just laughing at you guys. And I'm just scratching my head like, what the fuck? What's the problem? What's the problem? Let me see what you guys think in the chat. I'm curious. Curious what you guys have to say about this. Gone versus Francis going to be Flames. Yeah, it's in January. It looks like it's almost a done deal. So Gone versus Francis. Think about it. The way we're ending the year with pay-per-views, they're out of control. And then we roll into 2022 with Gone versus Francis. Goodness. Hope we get Mike Tyson Fight Club next. Wonderful, wonderful. Moss and Dana are buddies from the New York days. Dana is from Boston. Right? Cool Carl always liked Riggs. I'm joking, bro. LOL, that wasn't serious comment. Haha. But you do love yourself some Dana. Yeah, I'm a fan of Dana. I am. I really do. I got to say, as a businessman, seeing what he's done and surrounding himself with the right people and how he grew the UFC would be nothing without Dana White. Nothing. Like, it's kind of wild what this guy did, It's not Don King here. This is Dana. This is Dana White, man. And honestly, how many times have you watched fight cards where you had a lame event, but then you wait for Dana to get on the mic and it becomes fun again, Dorky David Schmolzen. Pals, only poor people don't like Dana, says Rel. Remember the story about the stripper Dana and Dana, the BF trying to extort Dana. Yeah, we did a story. Actually, you know what? That was one time when we had a little fun, poking fun at Dana. The whole Colby Covington situation where Covington ran in and Dana White was at the table. It looked like he was with a mistress. We had a little fun with that. So there was times where we kind of poked fun at Dana White. It's not all fucking rainbows and unicorns about Dana. We've had some fun. But for the most part, when it comes to the business side of things, he's the man. We're going to miss Dana when he leaves, says Richard Lopez. Of course. Of course. No one could do it like Dana. Now, I'm not saying the UFC just dies without Dana right now. Dana's built it, so you have to think if someone else steps in, they can continue with the same recipe and move forward. But I don't want to see, I'm not into a world without Dana right now. I'm not ready for that. Dana Post is a must-watch always. I'm sure the haters don't agree. Yeah, people, Corey, I don't get it. I think I do get it. Let me correct myself here. I think people just hate to hate. I think that's what it is. People realize if you write nice things, if you tweet nice things on Twitter, you're not going to get the likes, the retweets. You're not going to get the responses. Like if you notice Ariel, we said something busting his chops on the Schmo thing, we got a response, right? If we wrote, hey, Ariel, you're the best, Ariel's not going to respond. There's some times in this chat, we missed some great comments, some very complimentary comments in this chat, and then one knucklehead sticks out because they say something dopey, and then we zone in on that, and next thing you know, it's a 20-minute conversation. We're all guilty of it. We're human. Uncle Kyle said, what up, Moss? Back here to enjoy my night with my fellow MMA hoes.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Tried working out again today. I have got no strength. It's crazy, man. But I went on a nice long bike ride, so that was fun. Thank you, guys. Make sure you smash the like button, friends. We have 200 people watching. Welcome to the stream. We'll get back into a little more Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. It's UFC fight week. We're talking about Dana White right now. He's been in the news, bare knuckle, in a little bit of hot water. I haven't really heard much else. All I know is they have a fight this weekend. And we're probably going to pay more attention to the UFC's early. Bare knuckle might go head-to-head against Fury Wilder, which just sounds like a death sentence. But I got to be honest, maybe we can hang out watching some bare knuckle on the way to the main event, because I kind of don't care about the main event of Fury Wilder. But Fury Wilder is fire. It's absolute fire, man. This card, the trilogy, I'm all for it. You know, maybe I'm in the minority. People want to see the Joshua fight. I mean, that kind of fell apart. But Fury Wilder, I could watch them fight 40 times. So I'm 100% in.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Sunosi.
That dude who fought O'Malley. Fucking a lesser league, he might be dead. Also, I think Dana a little threatened by bare knuckle, so he taking the chance to belittle them. Yeah. Dana gonna safeguard the company. A death will damage all of MMA.
So I was thinking, like, how does this affect Dana White? How does this affect the UFC? As soon as it happened, we even did it. We were talking about it on the show. And thank you, Sonosi, for the donation. We were talking about it on the show. How does this could affect MMA? We said that, right? If there's a death in bare knuckle, you know, if the commission cracks down on certain things, you know, it's possible these fights will get tougher and tougher to get sanctioned. But then after the speech that Dana gave, and I started, you know, when you start hearing from the horse's mouth of the hoops they jump through in order to get these fights going, it kind of makes sense, you know? I could jump to conclusions, but I got to get the facts before I can make a firm decision. I don't think it does. Yeah, I don't think it really affects the UFC. He said 7,000 fights, not one death. You know, knock on wood. We don't want anyone to die in combat sports, especially. I mean, listen, we don't want anyone to die, period. But, and it could have been a freak thing too. People were saying that it was what, like the death with this guy that fought. He was on a ventilator after the fight. His neck was all banged out. He had a serious concussion. And they said that because of complications, and I think he died of, like, technically pneumonia, but because of complications of the injury, it just didn't help the situation out. So it, you know, maybe it was the perfect storm. Ngannou versus Fury. Ngannou versus Wilder. That's the fight. Because Fury would just outbox Ngannou. But Ngannou versus Wilder, I've been talking about that forever. If Ngannou is ever going to make the move to boxing, you fight a Deontay Wilder that's not, you know, the best technical fighter, but's got a bomb in his hands. That's the fight. He broke his spinal facing on head. Oh, the gentleman in bare knuckle, yeah. Yeah, Drunk, you watched the replay? Yeah, it's messed up. It's messed up. And our reaction is messed up too. Our reaction was quite messed up. Yeah, it's a screwy situation, and I'm sure with the bare knuckle event this Saturday, I'm sure they'll do like a tribute to him and everything like that. But I'm curious to see, like, moving forward, and they're probably going to take the way the internet is. All people, like herds of people, just want to keep on canceling, right? And it's easier to lead that charge when someone dies, you know? So I just hope they make the right adjustments. I really do. Because like I said, I don't hate bare knuckle. I really don't. Anyway, I want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors. I mean, geez. By the way, we might have a new sponsor jumping aboard. We're very close to putting the contract's out. Very close to grabbing another, a big fish. So we're looking forward to that. I tell you what, man, our sponsors keep us alive. The donations, you guys hitting those like buttons. You guys are fucking savages. MysticRootsCBD.com is the website. And use promo code MMA-HOLES for 20% off. The best CBD in the fucking world. Yeah.
Wonderful.
That's right. MysticRootsCBD.com. Use it every single day myself. The Lifted Lotus Drops is my recommendation. I promise you, it will help your anxiety. Excuse me, I got some phlegm. Head Rush Head Rush, 20% off. I got my Head Rush shirt on. Yo, check this shit out. This shirt has been washed a gazillion times. It's still nice, bright red. It's got my fucking badass little logos on here. You want 20% off? We got you. Got your Head Rush. Check it out. 20% off. Use the same promo code MMA-HOLES. And look like a badass. Even pussies like me could look cool wearing fucking Head Rush. So check it out. Link in the description. There's a Canadian link as well, so you can get hooked up on the shipping situation. But 20% off. Promo code MMA-HOLES. Also ESPN Plus. ESPN Plus. We got a pin in the live chat in the description as well. Check it out. If you want to watch the UFC events this weekend, click on that link and help out the MMA-Holes. That's right. Everyone that signs up through that link helps us out. Takes money away from the dreaded ESPN. I mean, why do you want to pay them? Why do you want to pay the UFC? Pay the MMA-Holes. That's right. Give us a piece of the pie. So click that link if you're buying pay-per-views, watching Contender Series, whatever. And be wonderful, wonderful. Also, Polymarket. We're waiting patiently, but we want to get some Fury Wilder over here. If you want to do some trading, this place is pretty cool. We made some money on Volkanovski. You could place some bets over here on Polymarket. Check it out for yourself. Get that hundo. Just check it out. Click the link in the description. Be wonderful, wonderful.
Wonderful, wonderful.
All right. Anyway, we are live on a Wednesday night, halfway through the show, a full hour of extravaganza next. We have some more news stories to get to as well. Mackenzie Dern versus Rodriguez. Okay. Got to look at this fight here. Like I said at the beginning of the show, I feel that the UFC basically was like, hey, we're rolling over. We're rolling over. We're just going to basically have this thing's at 1:30 p.m. Eastern time. It's a 10-fight card. Tim Elliott's, he's always fun to watch. Randy Brown versus Jared Gordon, something of interest. And then you got Gutierrez. This guy always cracks me up. Every time I see his picture, it's like, hey, look at me. I got 2 belts. Anyway, he's on a nice little win streak. So Gutierrez is fighting on this card. But, guys here, we got Charles Rosa, the Boston guy, who's a tough SOB. But listen, it's not like the best card in the world. The main event is definitely, I could guarantee this, it's definitely going to be 100 gazillion times better than last Saturday's main event. So this is going to happen early, a little appetizer. And then we're going to shut it down, and then we're going to do the Fury Wilder fight. So this card's happening. When you look at Dern and Rodriguez, I'm pretty interested here. Although I still got to go with my Mackenzie Dern. As much as I want to try to pick Rodriguez, she's on a 2-fight win streak. She's got that style like Joanna and Jacek, the rolled over shoulders, constant pressure. Has some pretty good takedown defense too. I'm curious if she could stop Dern with that. But Dern's stand-up's gotten better. She's on a 4-fight win streak, beating Nina Nunes, Jandiroba, Ronda Marcos, the female Dominic Cruz, and Hannah Cyphers. The last loss was to Amanda Ribas, who's a tough chick, or Hebas, I should say. So that's not a bad girl to lose to if you're going to lose. But that was many moons ago. That was what? 1 year and 11 months ago. So Mackenzie Dern has a baby, and she's on fire. On fire. Trying to be another mommy champion over here. Strawweight, 115 pounds. And I got to say this. If Mackenzie Dern keeps on winning, well, she's someone that I have interest with when it comes to, these title fights at 115. You got Rose. You got what's it called? What's her name? Zhang, who's looking to get that belt back. So it's a pretty interesting weight class for the ladies. Might be, to me, the most interesting because you don't have, a Shevchenko. You don't have an Amanda Nunes that's just dominating. You got the belts kind of flipping around a little bit. Ever since JJ gave it up, I feel like anyone can get this freaking belt. So let's look at the rankings here. I think Dern will be right in the mix soon. I truly do. Let's see. So Mackenzie Dern, who's not even ranked. Oh yeah, she's number 4. I was gonna say she's not even ranked. Shit, she's sitting at number 4. Excuse me. Fucking casual over here. What am I doing? I was gonna say she's not ranked. How the hell is she not ranked? All right, so she's sitting at number 4. If she wins this fight, damn man. So I thought Carla Esparza should rematch Rose. I kind of wanted to see the Cookie Monster get the shot, but she doesn't have the juice. You got Joanna and Jacek still sitting there at number 2. She went to a war with Zhang. Zhang and Nama Yunus if Zhang wins that fight, Namajunas, you know, sometimes she just sits out. Sometimes she kind of loses her shit and she just kind of chills for a little while. You know, does JJ get a rematch? Does Esparza finally get that title shot again? As you know, she was the champ at one point. Or does Mackenzie Dern somehow skip the line? You got Yan Xiaonan, which I completely forgot about her. She's up in the mix. Yeah, I forgot about this bitch. It's interesting. There's a couple of girls here that you could probably rotate this belt around a couple of times. You don't have Shevchenko and Nunes. You don't have these two at top just dominating and destroying. Strawweight is probably the most interesting weight class right now. I don't see any of these bitches beating Shevchenko. And the same with Amanda. So, no, I don't see that happening. You know, you got Holm, who's excellent. You got Durandamy. You know, these are tough girls. Aldana's tough. Aspen Ladd, who can't make weight. I don't know what her deal is. But, too many periods or something. But to me, the strawweight weight class is the most interesting ladies' weight class. Let me know what's your favorite female weight class as we get Jesse back in the mix over here. Before we get there, we got a donation.
Wonderful, wonderful.
It's Uncle Chrome.
In your defense, Mossad appeared, thought and took a new way out. Instead of suicide by cop, he chose suicide by fist. I'm just happy Anea now has a grave buddy.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Oof. Thank you, Chrome. Thank you for that. Hey, Jess, welcome back. Little baby sleeping? Oh,
Yeah.
nice. Good job. Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful.
You know, normal voices are fine, just not
You
yelling.
might want to put your headphones in then so we can turn this off then, no?
No, it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fine. Just don't yell. Like, don't scream or get super excited.
115 in women's every fight can change the belt. Yep, I'm with you, the ugly. I think that's the weight class. You know, when you're thinking ladies' weight, you're thinking, I think people are just catching up on Chrome's donation. Yeah, I'll let that simmer. I'll let that simmer. Since there's a little delay, I'll let that simmer in the chat. Chrome trying to spice things up. What do you think about these women's weight classes here? I was talking about bantamweight and flyweight and strawweight, and I was saying I think that strawweight's the most exciting for me.
Yeah.
What would you, if you had to choose a ladies' weight class, what would you choose?
For as most exciting,
Yeah.
strawweight is pretty exciting because with Weili Zhang, Joanna Jacek, Rose Namajunas alone is super exciting. What's her face? Oh, she's not even on here anymore. But you know what? Jessica Andrade is fun to watch, and that's fuck.
Flyweight, and you also have
flyweight or strawweight
bantam.
would be my two.
Don't forget bantam. You just
No.
bantam over here. Nothing.
Fuck bantam. Yeah, I say flyweight or strawweight would be the two exciting.
But
ones
what
for
about the
me.
return of Misha Tate? You know?
What about her?
Yeah, she's back.
What about her?
Macy Chasson. You know, I tell you what, bantamweight might be my second.
Nah, I'd say strawweight first, flyweight second.
Okay, I'm going strawweight, bantamweight, and then flyweight's my last. So basically, Valentina Shevchenko's just beating up a bunch of cans. Let's just say that. Okay, there we go.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Let's be serious here. Yeah, I would go strawweight, bantamweight, flyweight. Flyweight is I'm good. Let's see what's the order in the chat, and we'll get back into the news.
All right, Benjamin Elm says I love the MMA-Holes. D-Man Diaz says Joanna is a shell of her former self. Well, that's arguable. If you're just going based off of the Weili Zhang fight, you know what? But then Namajunas really tuned her up too.
Ever since the boob implants.
You're right, actually. You know what? I can't say you're wrong. Maybe she is a shell of her former self. Who knows? Nick Good says Thug Rose versus Dern. Benjamin Elm says I love the. I already read that, man. Damn, she's hot. Fire, says Carl Grace. Leo England says LOL dang. Wonderful, wonderful.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Wonderful, wonderful. 202. Make sure you hit the like button, as we want 200 likes on this bitch. If we have 200 people watching, no problem with 200 likes. Hit the like button and be wonderful, wonderful. Okay. Wouldn't mind watching some big girls, maybe lightweight knockout. You know, I've been saying it since 5 years ago. Heavyweight women, let's go. I'm in. People don't want to watch thick girls in that. I want to see it. I want to see big, sloppy, gigundo girls in there. Let's go heavyweight, light heavyweight. Why we got to have these little ass girls in there? Why can't we have the thick girls, right? I mean, what are we doing?
I guess.
Let's have the big bitches in there, right? Like floppy tits all over the place and just blubber on top. Like, let's go. Oh, I'm into that. I don't know. Would you want to see that, Jess? The big, thick girls?
I'll see anything, honestly.
Yeah, we just want to see people. Yeah, precious type women, you know? Women where they, you know those women that are so thick their eyebrows look like they can't even open? You know those girls? Look like they're always smiling.
I think
so
that's
fat.
called my 600-pound life.
Yeah, that's right. I want to see hoarders. I want to see a hoarder weight class where it's just a hoarder division, where it's just women that hoard.
All right. So in the news, did you see Francis Ngannou versus Cyril Gane is in the works for UFC 270 in January 22nd?
I spoke about it.
All righty. So then I guess we'll move on. There's an uncomfortable...
Who wins? Ngannou gone.
Ngannou, of course. Ngannou.
Of course, you're not even thinking about it.
Yeah, no doubt.
But think about Cyril Gane. I mean...
Why do you call him cereal?
Because he's like a breakfast treat. Cyril Gane. By the way, they couldn't get a better picture than this.
What is it? This is a good picture, Mouse.
Hey, look at my beard. Look at my beard.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good.
Why you answer that so quick?
Because I'm always Ngannou, man. I'm always Team Ngannou. It'll never change. You know
but
this.
You've seen them spar together. I mean,
so what's your point?
Gane really held his own.
Mas Ngannou all the way. There is no question.
I hope Ngannou wins. I'm kind of sick of Cyril Gane. Although Cyril Gane seems like a really nice guy too. He does. I've been very unfair.
You seem like a really nice guy.
I am very nice. Well, I've been really. You know what? I'm gonna make an apology. I'm gonna make an apology. I've never made an apology on the MMA-Holes.
I think you have.
When?
Well, no, I'm just saying. I think there has been a moment. You know?
Okay. Name the moment.
Well, I can't recall.
Here it is. The first moment ever in 5 years. I'm gonna make an apology.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, go for it. What's the apology?
Cyril Gane.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm truly sorry for being so rude about your fighting style, Cyril Gane. You're quite the heavyweight fighter. In fact, you are an interim champion. You've taken out my Derek Lewis swiftly with ease. You're very light on your feet, and you've proved that not only do you not bore us to death, but you have the carnage in your hands and in your legs. So here tonight on the MMA-Holes, 5 years in, I will make my first ever apology to you, Cyril. I am sorry for saying you're boring. I'm sorry for calling you a breakfast treat. You're a true champion.
Did you call him a breakfast treat at one point? Sorry.
What the fuck?
I have to interrupt your apology.
Take your fucking ADD and fucking shove it up your ass. Anyway, Cyril, I apologize for my co-host. She's racist against French fries. Cyril, I'm very sorry. May you take this apology.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Thanks for ruining that, Jesse. Okay, anyway, what else you got?
There was a discussion on MMA Junkie about the John Jones case, if you want to talk about that.
Sure.
Okay, according to MMA Junkie's staff, so there were multiple people involved in this. John Jones obviously made the headlines for the wrong reasons. We already know that. But they wrote this article today, and as details start to become clear, people were discussing how it makes them feel about Jones's future in the UFC. Should there even be a future with the promotion? Was the UFC's response to the situation satisfactory?
Why is John Morgan shaped like a thumb? Like, what is that? It's like a thumb with fucking hair. What is that? Is there like a name for that condition? No? Why is John Morgan like a thumb? What is it like thumb-itis? He has a case of thumb-itis? MMA thumbkey? right? Sorry. Just thinking out loud. Sorry.
So basically, they were asking all the same questions that we've already asked on the show. It was a panel with Mike Bone and Matthew Wells discussing the topics, along with obviously John Morgan. So if you want to watch it, the link is on the website.
I'm sorry, John Morgan, for calling you a thumb. I don't know what's wrong with me today, but I apologize because, you know, you're quite the reporter. Please take this apology, John Morgan. You're not a thumb. You're a human being. I should know better. I'm a father now. I shouldn't be saying things like this. I'm truly sorry.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Okay, got that out of the way. All right.
So according to the MMA Mania, I'm moving on to the next article. The medical committee.
Wait, what was the article here? No, but what was it?
I just said it was a panel between the three discussing a lot of the same questions that we have already discussed on the show about John Jones. So if you want to go see it, the link is on the website.
So they discussed it. What did they say? Did you see it?
I just listed all the main points that they had.
Go ahead. I was too busy. I couldn't get the thumb.
I already saw the article, Moss.
Here, let's go. Let's go over here. What did they say?
Go up.
I'm curious if I agree.
Okay. All right.
Too busy thinking about him being the thumb.
The questions that they touched on were how does it make you feel about Jones's future in the UFC?
Jesse, I'm sorry. I wasn't quite paying attention to the article. I was too busy thinking about John Morgan being a thumb. So this is an apology to you, Jesse. Please take this apology. I just don't know what's got over me these days, Jesse. Please forgive me.
Wonderful, wonderful.
So they discussed how does it make you feel about Jones's future in the UFC? Should there even be a future with the promotion? Was the UFC's response to the situation satisfactory? What more should they have done about this entire ordeal?
Hold on a second. What the fuck? I tried to X out of it and it zoomed in on this guy's face. You saw me hit the X, right?
No, I didn't because I was reading what you asked me to read.
Okay, yeah. I'm trying to hit the fucking X. Trying to hit. Well, I did it again. I done fucked up the whole damn show. I tried to hit the X, and I'm sorry for hitting the X. It took me to a man's face, a talking head. Jesse was in the middle of reading that, and I apologize to Jesse for doing this. I don't know what's got over me.
Wonderful, wonderful.
All right, so moving on. So
wait, so what'd they say?
Moss, I'm not reading it again.
Well, I want to know what they said. What
then
their
you
thoughts
can read
were.
it.
I'm actually interested.
No, I'm not reading it again. No.
According to police reports, it is
So
not.
why? So you can cut me off again with a
See,
million
I clicked
other
this.
things?
All right, why are you getting so mad?
No, I'm not reading it
I clicked this
again.
over here, and it just went to the. Look, watch. This is the X, right? What the fuck? It goes right to it.
All right, I don't care.
It's like a trap. It's like MMA Junkie is setting us to a trap here. Okay, what did they say?
Moss, I just told you.
These three guys, what were...
They are discussing John Jones' situation.
Okay, and do they agree?
They discussed how it made them feel. Whether the UFC handled it well. What should the UFC have done? What is the future for John Jones? All things that we have already discussed on the show. I said if you want to go watch the panel, go to the link on the website.
I understand, but what's the consensus? They're mad at him?
Told you,
so we don't know. Okay, all right, so it's a waste of our time. All right, so why don't you just say it's a complete waste of our time, this article. Let's move on. Oh, man, here we go. Didn't we talk about this guy? We're going to do it again? All right, give it to me.
According to Shaquille of MMA Mania, ABC Medical Committee disturbed by regulation of bare-knuckle boxing after the death of Justin Thornton. The Association of Boxing Commissions is concerned with some regulators inadequately protecting fighters in the aftermath of the BKFC fighter Justin Thornton's death. Thornton, who's 36, as you all know, died earlier this week after being hospitalized following a paralyzing knockout loss to Dylan Kleckler at BKFC 20. Thornton was placed on a ventilator as of September 23rd and eventually died from pneumonia. Now, bare knuckle boxing has been gaining in popularity across parts of the United States since 2018. Early injury studies in BKB have suggested a higher rate of minor hand fractures.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Fern's baby has a white father. Changed my mind. That baby is whiter than Ellie and her baby daddy is darker than me.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
It has suggested a higher rate of minor hand fractures and lacerations, but less severe concussions. Nevertheless, athletes who compete in this sport are generally older, over 35 years old, have already fought in various other mixed martial arts disciplines, and tend to be at the tail end of their careers. Many of these competitors have been affiliated with other MMA organizations and have been subsequently released by these promotional companies due to many factors, including but not limited to loss of skills, consecutive losses, or injuries. Lastly, many of these fighters have not fought for extended periods of time. Therefore, the Association of Boxing Commission's medical committee is especially concerned that athletes competing in BKB may be at higher risks for acute and chronic injuries due to these and other factors. Disturbingly, and despite our recommendations, some jurisdictions regulating these events are still not following the minimum medical guidelines set forth by the Association of Boxing Commissions in Combative Sports and the Association of Ringside Physicians. More concerning is the fact that many commissions still do not require any imaging studies, CT scan or MRI scans, in a sport where individuals are at risk for acute and chronic head injuries.
That's kind of crazy, by the way. The fact that they don't have CT scans or MRIs or any of this stuff.
Well, they do, but they're not meeting those criteria.
Wait, so they're having these tests done?
So basically,
they're not.
basically what the commission is suggesting is these commissions still do not require it.
Yeah.
But they're trying to push it. Like they would like for these organizations to do this, but it's not required, so they don't do it.
If you have guys that are freaking pushing 40 years old with a bunch of fights under their belt, I mean, this has got to be done. Well,
BKFC could lose their license too. ABC's medical committee recommends commissions be cautious when licensing bare knuckle boxing.
Well, they could get licensed. Well, that's the problem. If you imagine Mississippi, out of all places, like Mississippi's the place you go when you want to have circus events, right? They sanction anything over there. So if Mississippi gets derailed, that's a problem. But then again, bare knuckle is traveling from state to state.
Right.
I don't know.
Well,
it's a problem. How does bare knuckle fund all this? How do they pay for all this medical scans and MRIs? They can't afford that shit.
Well, I'll tell you. And the statement continued. They said, given the limited data regarding the medical risks of BKB, and ABC Medical Committee implores commissions who are considering licensing these events to proceed with caution. Furthermore, we encourage those jurisdictions who are still deficient in these minimum medical recommendations and guidelines to immediately update and revise their requirements to include a CT scan, MRI scan, and or neurological clearance performed by a board-certified neurologist prior to clearing a fighter to compete. With the tragic news regarding the death of Justin Thornton and the limited medical data regarding short and long-term injuries in BKB, the ABC Medical Committee recommends enhanced screening of individuals considering participation in such events. During the 2021 ABC conference, a committee was formed to examine and make suggestions on safety regulations for bare-knuckle boxing. So, if I were to guess, to answer your question about funding, I would assume, since the commission is in charge of these types of safety regulations, the commission would be the ones who have to help fund these organizations to get these.
That's not
these
how it
requirements.
works, though. That's not how it works.
This is an assumption. I don't know where else they would get the funding to do this.
Yeah, the company's got to pay for this shit. Which, that's where it gets, imagine.
And if the company can't pay for it, then they shouldn't be in business.
Well, here's the problem. Here's how you fix this. This is exactly what we said at the beginning. You have to start cropping. Well, they're having tryouts. I noticed bare knuckle is already trying to get some of the youth in there. You bring in these younger fighters that don't have all this mileage on them. You grow some homegrown talent. Now, the problem is you do need some sort of names in bare knuckle to sell fights, right? So you do have some of these top tier guys out there. But a guy like Chad Mendez, you can get away with guys like him. The Paige Van Zants that you bring in, you can get away with girls like her. She's still relatively young. But you got these guys that are in their 40s or pushing 40. You got guys almost 50, competing with all this mileage on them. Then it gets a little hairy, So I think bare knuckle's got to start, if they're not going to be able to fund all this testing for the older fighters, the seasoned veterans out there, the people that had so many strikes to the head for so many years, then you're going to have to start getting some young bucks, the Caleb Harrises, to represent your organization. And I think that Bare Knuckle is in a place right now where they can start showing off this young talent. I really think they can do it. They've already established themselves as someone that can make some money. You know? But I mean, come on. Like, let's match up these fights better. And if people fall off cards, you're going to have to start bringing in some young bucks. You know?
Yep.
It's messed up, man. It's a shame that we're having this conversation because someone died. It's too bad that we couldn't get to this point before someone got killed.
Well, you know what's weird is we did discuss this when BKFC first happened. I remember having a conversation about, you know, safety regulations and how safe is this exactly and blah, blah, blah. And everyone, including us, just kind of blew it off.
It's
like
not
it was
just
nothing.
Bare Knuckle, though. It's a lot of regional promotions, too. We've been at events where we're like, whoa, this is crazy. But at the same time, like the matchmaking was a little off. But because last minute people fall out, you got to drag other people in there. You got to fill spots on cards, or the whole event falls apart. So, like I said, matchmaking is like one of the toughest jobs out there. But Bare Knuckle, you know, you don't have gloves. You know, people are automatically putting a spotlight on them because it looks so vicious.
Yeah.
So they have to cover their tracks. They do. And I'm sure they're way ahead of the game. I'm pretty sure Feldman seems like a smart guy. I'm pretty sure that Feldman's already getting the wheels turning and making sure he's protecting himself. I'm sure he's got great lawyers, and hopefully they could tighten it up. But I'll still watch. Right? This is not going to stop me. In fact, we're going to watch more. You know what's eerie about this? If you look at our fight reaction, Bare Knuckle 20, it was a fight, Fuqua Friday. If you go back to that stream, we were expressing concerns right before the fight happened when we were looking at the odds. We're like, oh. Like, we were expressing concerns about it. So, I mean, if Joe Schmo, me, and Jesse, just dopey fans, can see it, I mean, that's pretty scary. These professionals shouldn't be in there competing. Anyway, let's move on. I mean, I feel like we're beating a dead horse with this fucking story. Herbivore Dean.
Yeah, so Herb Dean defended his call not to stop UFC 266 main events.
Okay.
Super chat.
Hold on, we got Brian Cintrone coming in.
Ariel had been talking mad trash. Schaub is pissed.
Oh, so did Schaub respond? So we spoke about this earlier today. We even threw it out there that, you know, we put a proposal out there to we'll moderate a debate between Ariel and Brendan. We could squash the beef live on this show. We can make it happen. Go to our Twitter, give us a retweet. But we 4 retweets. That's lame. How do we get 15 likes and 4 retweets on this thing? We need some more retweets. We need some more retweets on this thing. This post right over here. We put a proposal out to Ariel and Brendan Schaub. Come on the MMA Holes to clear the beef. We will moderate the debate completely unbiased. We will ask the hard-hitting questions. We will finally put this drama to rest. Let's see who's got the balls to come on our show. Yeah. Give that thing a retweet. Let's get this ball rolling. What are we doing here? At the MMA Holes on Twitter. Yeah, we sparked up Ariel a little bit in the Twitterverse earlier. We showed those tweets, so you can go back in the stream and watch that for yourself. But yeah, come on our little tiny show over here. Let's go. Let's go. Get over here and we'll squash this shit. Let's see if Brendan Schaub responded. Brendan Schaub doesn't really act on Twitter though, right? He doesn't really. No, he doesn't write shit on Twitter. Like, he just kind of stays silent. It's kind of boring. There was what's this guy's name? Borachia. What's this guy? This guy. Borachina Depot. This guy's funny on Twitter, man. This guy's got the good ones. But let's see. Where's the tweet? Look at this shit. So here's Schaub. Here's a message to the MMA media. I don't know if you guys seen this yet.
Unless you book some big name fighter or you have 17 fighters on your show, nobody gives a fuck about your personal opinion.
Nobody gives a fuck about your personal opinion unless you book all those fighters on your show, okay?
So you have to somehow muster something, trying to figure it out.
Stir the pot.
Because everything you've ever done has never worked out for you.
Because everything you've ever done has never worked out for you. And he's got this giggling Robin Quivers in the background.
Because everything you've ever done has never worked out for you.
Well, how did the UFC work out for you? I mean, you had some good moments, but you never were a champion or anything like that. Your buddy is fucking begging you to get out of the UFC, right?
That's how these guys operate.
I don't know, Brendan Schaub. You're literally living off the coattails of Joe Rogan. Like you are legit leeching off of Joe Rogan, right?
And it doesn't end well for any of them.
Oh, how's this going to end for Brendan Schaub? He's been bashed on his fucking comedy. He's got Ariel slinging fucking heat at him, just dropping all this crazy stuff on, retaliating and burying him.
They don't have any talent.
No talent. So everyone in MMA media doesn't have any talent. Meanwhile, they probably have degrees. These guys went to journalism school, whatever. Like, we didn't do any of that shit over here. We're just dopey fans. So if he says that shit to us, I mean, maybe he's right. But you know what, Brendan Schaub? We don't have Showtime. We don't have no fucking rich friend. We literally grew 52,000 subscribers without anyone's fucking help. No schooling, no journalism background, no fucking broadcasting background. These motherfuckers have actual legit schooling, and here we are doing better than them. Right? Oh no, Brendan. I don't know. You're kind of sinking on this one. Let's see what else Brendan Schaub's got to say. And now he's attacking the actual media. He's not attacking us. But he's attacking the media. I'm just trying to figure this out.
Nobody's paying attention. So they have to book big guests or they have to talk shit about Joe Rogan just to get views. Because if they get on here and rant to a camera...
Wait, have to talk about Joe Rogan just to get views, right? Talk about Joe Rogan just to get views. But if you didn't have Joe Rogan, you wouldn't have any fucking stand-up comedy. You wouldn't have any of these podcasts. No one would know who you are.
Paying attention. So they have to book big guests or they have to talk shit about Joe Rogan just to get views. Because if they get on here and...
So without Joe Rogan, you would be nothing. And you're criticizing people for using Joe Rogan to get views. Does this make any fucking sense?
Big guests or they have to talk shit about Joe Rogan just to get views. Because if they get on here and rant to a camera like I do for an hour, nobody listens.
Yo, this guy is nuts. He's off his rocker. And it's the reason why he would never come on a show like ours. Because the guy's a nudnik. He's a fucking meathead. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. This whole... And the fact... that people are like into this. Like, I can't wrap my head around it. The guy sounds like a complete fucking moron. Now, granted, the guy stepped in the octagon. Got to give him credit for that. The guy actually had a fairly decent run, all joking aside. But let's be serious here. You grovel over to the fucking podcast world, and you're doing well, right? You got your food truck diary, you got all this shit, but you're relying on everyone else. You're not relying on yourself. Your stand-up comedy is because of fucking Joe Rogan. Gave you a little pat on the tush. It's fucking crazy, man. It's so nuts. We'll get to the rest of this in a second.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Dude, it blows my mind, the shit that comes out of this guy's mouth.
I don't think Ariel has the credentials to act like a badass in my opinion. If you are dodging some bum pussy fucking faggot with a blue speedo with some nerdy dorky ass glasses named fucking David Schmielenson, you can't act like a badass.
Now, listen, Helwani's doing his Helwani thing, and I got to give him credit. You got to listen to his rant today on Brendan Schaub. You got to listen to the guy's rant. Ariel hit the nail on the head in a lot of points. Now, there are times when Ariel comes across like a bitchy baby, but in this situation, I got to give him credit, man. He hit the nail on the head with Brendan. We're just fucking driving it home now. Excuse me. We're driving the Brendan Schaub thing home. This Borachina Depot is hysterical, man. This guy on Twitter, this guy's the best, man. He just clips everyone's fuck-ups. Eventually, he'll start clipping our fuck-ups. You'll have a field day with that because there's not one day where we don't fuck up. But let's see what else we got here. There's more. Oh, wait, there's more.
So they have to book big guests or they have to talk shit about Joe Rogan just to get views. Because if they get on here and rant to a camera like I do for an hour, nobody listens.
I don't know what he's talking about because it seems like a lot of people fucking listen.
Because they've never walked the walk. They've never been in the fire. They're reporting on the storm. I've been in the storm.
And here's
Joe Rogan.
Here's Brendan Schaub. Here's Brendan Schaub trying to be like these media members and reporters with his podcast and talking about the fucking news and shit like that and the hot stories. He's legit groveling over to the media side of things. Like groveling over. And he's shitting on it. He's shitting on the people that paved the way for him. Dude, it's wild. The guy is so fucking delusional. Ariel made a great point in saying these reporters that report on every sport, okay, yes, they don't know how to throw a 90-mile-per-hour fastball, right? But they've gone to journalism school. They know how to put a story together, whether you agree or disagree. They're actually trained in the art of writing a fucking story. Like, they're trained in that. That's what they know. That's what they do. They don't know how to hit a ball out of a fucking baseball stadium. That's not what they do. So he's expecting that MMA journalists should all be fucking UFC fighters. So Brendan Schaub, go to journalism school, you fucking idiot. Go to journalism school. If you walk the walk, bro. What the fuck you doing with a microphone in front of your face? Walk the walk. It's comical.
And hasn't been the storm, but he's witnessed more storms than anybody in the world. He's also a black belt in jiu-jitsu. He's also an inspiration to millions and millions of people.
And you're not even near what Joe Rogan will ever be.
He's also made millions, hundreds of $millions off of podcasts. He's an entrepreneur. These other guys work for the man because
they work for the man because they have to. That's what he's saying here. You work for fucking Showtime. That's not your you didn't fucking develop Showtime. Like Showtime. You work for fucking Showtime.
You guys work for the man.
You work for the man, bro.
Because they have to.
Because you have to. Like, you're not like the MMA-Holes. We, here, we work for the people. The people literally donate to keep them fucking us on air. We're working out of our fucking fourth bedroom. That's what we're working out of over here. We don't answer to anyone. We got you guys. You're the people. Meanwhile, this clown is working for Showtime, working for whoever will fucking pay him to do whatever. Dude, it's nuts how delusional this guy is. And he keeps saying shit sounding like more of an idiot. Dude, it's nuts. Schaub, please, come on our show. Please explain why I should wrap my head around this.
They don't have talent. They don't have creativity. They don't have the work ethic to hang with guys like me and Joe Rogan.
Let me replay this. Okay, hold on a second.
They don't have talent. They don't have creativity. They don't have the work ethic to hang with guys like me and Joe Rogan. Unless you...
I'm going to play it one more time. I can't believe I just heard this.
Because they don't have talent. They don't have creativity. They don't have the work ethic to hang with guys like me and Joe Rogan.
Me and Joe Rogan, he is literally putting himself in the same category as Joe Rogan. That might be the funniest. Now he should add that to his stand-up act. Brendan Schaub, please add that to your stand-up act. Did you just put yourself in the same category as Joe Rogan? Did you hear that?
I did, Moss.
Jess,
yes.
What do you think about that?
Well, Moss, he's a superstar, Brendan Schaub. You know, haven't you heard of this? You should be bowing at the feet of Brendan Schaub.
Dude, this guy is nuts. This guy is nuts. And people are eating it up. People are eating this shit up. Dude, I can't wrap my head around this shit. I honestly can't. Yeah, listen, the media could be fucking knuckleheads. You know, media could be quite annoying. But these people are educated people. We may disagree with some of their opinions or whatever, but they are trained in their craft. You know? We're not saying, hey, we know every MMA move. You have to do this, you have to do that. No, we're just fucking fans. That's all we are here. But I mean, I don't care. Then he's going into stand-up comedy. You walked the walk in the UFC. You're going into stand-up comedy. So what do these other comedians think when you come into the stand-up comedy game? Were they like, oh, come on in, buddy? Like, what the fuck? Like, what's going on? Like, I don't know. I can't. You got to listen to the Ariel rant. It's fucking wild. And whoever sent Brian Cintron, it's all your fault.
Thank you.
Pacific Loon has become a member, baby. Here we go. Let's go. Let's go, you son of a gun. I want to see what the chat has to say about this. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm just being a hater. People are like, oh, you hate all MMA personalities. No, I don't hate every MMA personality. Let me say this.
Who do you like?
I'm going to say this. I think Ariel Helwani, I've said it before, does the best interviews in the game, right? My problem with Ariel is I think he's two-faced. I truly do, because when I met him, I had a completely different experience than what we've heard following up. I think he's a little two-faced.
You had a different recollection than he
I mean,
had.
it's a completely different story. Completely different story. It kind of blows my mind when he was talking about the whole MMA-Holes situation. But regardless of the fact, people have good things to say about Ariel and people have bad things to say. I just had a conversation today with a friend of mine that's a producer for Sirius. Well, was producing in Sirius, and he's moved on to other things. And he knows Ariel. And he texted me today. He's like, you want me to reach out to Ariel? And I was joking around, like, yeah, reach out. But I gave him a little backstory saying, hey, be warned. You know, we have a little history with the guy. It's the reason why he doesn't answer our messages. But he said he's like one of the nicest guys. And when I met him, he was one of the nicest guys. I think Ariel is a nice guy. I just think he could be a little two-faced. I don't know. I get that vibe.
I don't think so. I think what happened is Ariel's a very sensitive guy.
Sensitive, yes.
And maybe you can interpret it as two-faced, but sensitive people have a tendency to maybe recall situations differently than how they were.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe that's it.
So I think it's not that he's being two-faced or he's trying to give a false story, but that's how he remembers it because he's a sensitive guy. You know?
T-Bone MMA.
What's wrong with him?
I haven't heard that name in forever.
He's not a bad dude.
I'm just laughing.
He's never done
I never
anything.
said anything. I just laughed. I can't laugh.
Leave him alone.
That was actually funny, nerds. So
he's doing his thing.
So yeah, Ariel Helwani, I respect Ariel, and in this situation, I believe Ariel is actually completely right in the Brendan Schaub situation. I 100% take Ariel's side, even though I said, and I would be unbiased. Let me just say this: even though I'm lighting Brendan on fire, I've lit Ariel on fire. This show will go either way. I don't care if I believe in a certain direction, I'm going to go full force in it. But if they were both to come on the show, and we had a screen up, Ariel and Brendan, and here we are smack right in the middle, I will ask the questions that need to be asked on both sides. I would hit them both over the head because I have experience with Ariel. I don't have experience with Brendan, but I do see what Brendan says on air, and the guy's fucking stupid. He's a fucking meathead. You know? So I'm going to say what the fuck's up with that, bro. But who do I like in MMA media? It's a great question. I would say I would have to say Ariel since he's the only one I can actually sit through. But is it Ariel or is it his guests? Like if Ariel just did when he did his show with DC, I didn't watch. I couldn't really watch much of it, right? But when he has guests on, I do like the way he interviews. So I could watch that. So if Ariel was alone, no. But if Ariel has guests, yeah. So Ariel, I would put Ariel in there. That's it. I can't think of anyone. I like Robin Black.
Yeah,
I like him as a person. I just don't listen to his content. And he probably would have the same thing to say about us. Like he probably likes us as people, but doesn't listen to our content.
Yeah.
No way, Luke Thomas. I can't. I just can't. I can't. I can't. I've tried. I even tried today again. I tried. I can't. I just can't do it. Who else? Who's a good MMA? Who would you say? The glove touch. Yes, the glove touch is one that I do enjoy. I'm trying to think. Give me someone else. I think I like Robin as a person, though. I think he's actually a pretty good guy. James Lynch is a nice guy.
Oh, yeah.
He's a nice guy.
Although he does get a little sensitive.
He's very sensitive. I think a lot of media members are sensitive. I don't know what that's about.
Listen, I mean, to each their own, and whatever works for his channel works. But I do think that maybe if the sensitivity died down a little bit with the comments that he gets in his chat, a lot more people would be inclined to, like, you know, BS with him and stuff like that. But I don't think he tolerates that too much. You know, I think he just wants...
Uncle Chael, he lost me. He used to be one of my favorite MMA fighters, but and credit to him for doing some successful stuff on YouTube and you know he's working with these MMA organizations. He's doing very well. He's a smart guy, but I can't listen to. Let's talk about this, all right? And like that fucking weird. I don't know, man. Like I'm just Even Bisping, too. I've tried to listen to Bisping's own thing. I don't give a fuck. I'm just a miserable son of a bitch. I don't care about what anyone else is. It's all about me and Ellie. And Jesse. The three of us.
And
That's
Jesse.
And maybe Jesse, too. Jesse's nice to me.
I was like the second thought.
Well, you know, you weren't nice to me. So today...
I wasn't nice to you?
No, you were mean to me, so... But you're cute.
But nothing
you're
you do
cutie.
causes that.
It's Ellie then Jesse. But then again... Oh, did I just fucking... Did I hit you? Look at this face. Yeah, this is my favorite media members. I'm just miserable. I don't want to listen to that shit. Ariel, I get some good stories out of the guy with his interviews. Other than that, I don't give a fuck. What other guys we got out there? Ben Egley would be a good on your show MMA fighter. You know who I want to get on our show? I want to get him back. Electric. What's his name?
It's Electric.
What's the guy's name again?
Woogie.
Travis Tabor's friend. He's a fighter. He's the guy that was friends. Yeah, excuse me for forgetting his name, but I do want to. He's actually a pretty funny guy, and I think he's going to get into the Contender Series soon. I think he'll be fighting. I'm trying to think who else. Bisping and Lewis suck. Nuke, Trent Reinsmith. Yeah, I don't do the schmo, man. When he first came out, I thought he was very funny. I did. I really thought the shtick was funny. And then ever since he became, the real person, I don't know, man. I just want to know Batman. I don't want to know fucking Bruce Wayne. As soon as you know their identity, and I don't know. I think he should have went longer with it and just kept it going. The schmo got sick of his own shtick, and then realized, holy shit, this is the only reason why people. Did you notice this with the schmo? So the schmo, it's wild, man. The schmo did his own shtick and became pretty successful, right? After years of just trying to break into the MMA scene, he comes up with a character, and then he does his thing and becomes successful. Gets a little viral on the internet, right? And then he's like, I'm sick of doing the schmo. Let me become this Dave guy myself and do like this schmo zone, but be myself. And he's doing all these interviews as himself. And then people stopped caring. And now he's going back into the schmo thing again. He's like forced to go back to the character because people care more about the schmo than Dave. But you can't go back. You know what I'm saying? You already showed your hand, and then you go back to the character. We already know that you're Dave, you're not the schmo. It doesn't work anymore. So I don't get it. I don't get that whole thing. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just a grumpy old man. It's possible. That's my problem. All right, who's your favorite guy in the chat? What's your guy or gal that you go to for MMA media? Do y'all know what David did to me? Yes, we do. Glove touch. We do. It was terrible. You could never go back. I mean, I don't know. It's weird. You can't. I don't know. Like once you cross that line, you keep evolving as Dave. You're like, what are you doing as the schmo? Like, get rid of the schmo. Like, he dresses up the schmo and then he asks questions as Dave. Like, sometimes it's fucking weird. I don't know. Dave's not here, man. Remember what David did to me? This is never over. Just Janelle. I like Robin Black's a super skunk. Yeah, Robin Black's a nice guy. Although, and I like the fact that he's very aloof and tries to be different. I don't really listen much. We threw him on the website because I like him a lot. But I just don't listen to anybody. It's weird. I can't get through Rogan. I think I just don't have attention for it. Fuchs Bar. What? The only girl I have energy with is the two bartenders, and I'm asking her out tonight. Or this. What is Carl talking about? Well, good luck, Carl. I don't know what's going on, but I hope you get some tail tonight. Helen's like, my boobs are great, but don't look. Yeah, she does seem like that kind of girl. Yeah, Helen Yee, you know what I think about Helen Yee. I'm not.
Super.
Oh, here's Travis. Here we go. Here's Travis.
My buddy's name is Elliot Bear. Instagram phone home fitness.
Phone home fitness. There he is. Elliot Bear. Yeah, I'll reach back out to him. I think I want to try to. We had a bad experience with Skype. The audio wasn't working. He thought we were fucking with him, but we weren't. And yeah, we'll work it out. That would be fun to get him back on. He seems like a nice guy. Jesse on Fire. Yeah, listen, Jesse on Fire. That guy apparently is doing good on YouTube, on TikTok. Not my cup of tea, but more all the success to that guy. He's yelling and screaming about shit. Mexican martial arts. You know what, Tom Joe? I'll give you him. Yeah, Jesse on Fire is not my cup of tea. I don't watch Mexican martial arts, but I like the guy. I like him. He's all right. And you know what? He is the one guy, I will say, who ever gave us fucking credit for doing the fight reactions and being somewhat of an inspiration. So I got to give it to Mexican martial arts. That's the thing. Some of these guys out there, they don't give us the credit we deserve. It's like, what the fuck? Been in the game for 5 years, and innovating shit over here. You got to give us the respect. So I got to give shout out to Mexican martial arts. That guy's all right. And he's quick. You could tell he's a hustler. The guy tries to work hard on his material and stuff. So Good on him. Let's see. Boss Rutan giving his takes on MMA news. Yeah, remember when Boss Rutan had that show on Access TV? That was like one of my first like encounters. What was that show called on Access TV with Boss Rutan and the other guy? I don't remember the other guy's name. But I used to watch. It was like MMA Weekly or something. I enjoy watching the doctors break down the injuries post-fight on YouTube. Those doctors on the internet, yeah, they seem like they're doing well. It was funny. I made a joke a couple months back on, I think it was on Facebook. I made the joke. Doctors are starting YouTube channels. Doctors, people like that have PhDs are starting YouTube channels. And I'm saying, wow. You know, all these years my parents wanted me to get into med school, and here I am with a dopey YouTube channel. Now doctors want to do what I'm doing. How the fuck does that work? It's kind of weird. James Lynch should retire. He's too concerned about being politically correct to take the point. Yeah, so here's my thing with James Lynch. Like I said, he's a very nice guy. He's been on the show. The guy's he's a hard-working guy. He's very by the book, and it's for a reason, right? He doesn't want to burn any bridges. The problem is, as soon as you, and Luke Thomas, you notice Luke Thomas doesn't read the live chat. As soon as you open up the world of the live chat, what we do over here, what we've been doing before everyone else, as soon as you open up this world, you can take that professionalism and throw it out the window. You notice Ariel doesn't read the live chat. Joe Rogan's never jumped into live chat, you know? Like I said, Luke Thomas doesn't do it. Robin Black plays in there. But as soon as you open this doorway here, that's it. The gloves are off. You know, you have pure, instant opinions popping up from all over the world. And you're going to get controversial stuff in here. There are going to be things that you disagree with, and you're going to want to go at them for. And what happens is when you're strict by the book as a journalist or an interviewer or whatever, you know, you're working for legit companies and stuff like that, and you're very professional in your approach. As soon as you open up this doorway, next thing you know, you're timing people out, you're banning people because you want a professional Q&A and the whole deal. That's not how it works. It's just not how it works. And it's what happens is you start to turn away your community. You know, and hopefully, I don't know. I don't watch all of James's streams, so hopefully he's not doing that. Hopefully he's a little loose in his streams. I hope he is. Because the minute you become too stiff in your streams, that's it. Like, you're just burning it. It's just not working. It's not going to grow. So, Teddy is also cool, excuse me. But James is very good. James is a hard-working guy, and I do respect that. MMA Meltdown is awesome. Never heard of MMA Meltdown. I gotta check them out. MMA Meltdown. We got some more news to get to, but I'm actually curious. I like to learn about other personalities out there because we don't know of everybody. Luke Thomas is an asshole. He never reads my super chats. Oh my God. How do you not read super chats? But didn't he do a stream or something where I felt terrible. We did a stream, what was it, last night? And 2 came in after the buzzer, and I had to make sure we put them on our community section. That's just, yeah. If people are investing money into you, especially like the audience, you gotta give them their due. MMA Meltdown is hilarious. All right, what's MMA Meltdown? I never heard of them. Let me see. Let me check them out on YouTube. I know we went off the beaten. Now who cares? We just have a little fun tonight. I don't give a fuck. Just have a little fun. We got some more stories to get to, but MMA Meltdown. Sometimes I like to shoot the shit with you guys. MMA Meltdown, 581,000 subscribers. Whoa, look at this guy's picture. Is this the channel? 596 videos. Look at this guy. Look at the fucking picture. That's funny alone, man. I love his profile picture. Who is this guy? Oh my God, Jesus Christ. Fucking A. What is this? I don't know what the hell that was. MMA Meltdown. Wow, he's got a lot of fucking views, right? What the fuck is this guy doing? I never even heard of this guy. There's so many freaking content creators. Actually, he doesn't really have that many views. Oh, he just puts on little clips. Oh, not crazy with the views. You know what's wild? 581,000 subscribers, and he's like pulling views like what we have, maybe less than what we have. That's crazy. He probably has some big videos, though. I bet he has some, like, viral videos here. Jesus Christ. Bro, what the fuck, man? What? Fucking A. What is that shit that he's playing? All right, I can't look at this guy. This guy's channel's throwing me for a loop. All right, forget it. I'm done with this guy. Go check him out, I guess. the fucking trailer alone, I just want to fucking get the hell off his channel. I'm like, enough. The interaction is where what sets... Hold on, I lost you. MMA-Holes apart. Congrats on 50K. Thank you, Tennis Talk. Appreciate that. Listen, as far as we can go with this interaction shit, we're going to do it, baby. We're going to fucking do it. We're going to keep the interaction. We're always going to keep you on the screen. We're always going to keep you fucking front and center. We're switching scenes and the whole deal. We're always going to do that. Super Chat is a donation. Okay, if you guys didn't read it... as long as you guys got the money, says Carl. I mean, yeah, I mean, technically, right? It's a donation. It's people trying to support. But, the whole reason why we have those alerts play is because we want... The donations are part of the show. Sometimes you guys are the best part. You guys got the funniest one-liners. Or two-liners or three-liners. We should get Jesse on Fire's channel. Taken down. Why you on his channel? I don't know, man. Listen, some people like it. I just can't. I can't do it. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know why I can't get in. I tried to listen, but I don't listen to anyone. I used to like that Alpaca Thesaurus guy, whatever his name was. That guy was good. Looks like I won't make it. The last 6 minutes have any... What? All right, what are the last final stories? Alistair Overeem withdraws. Rico. Oh, man. Alistair's out of the fight, huh? Here's the guy that you could put on that list. Rico Verhoeven. Title fight October 23rd. Yeah, I mean, this is a guy you can make an argument. Maybe he shouldn't. I never pulled out of a fight before, and trust me, the decision was hard to make. Overeem wrote on social media, I've been dealing with injuries for a month. 2 days before the press conference a couple of weeks ago, I wasn't able to walk straight. After some treatment, I felt much better. And since I've been... Oh, man. So he was injured. He's 41 years old, man. I mean, he's one of those guys where you could put in the mix. Like, he's not with the UFC anymore. He's taken some serious head trauma. Maybe this is a blessing in disguise. Maybe this is a blessing that this happened. Yeah, anytime I'm seeing fighters around 40 years old, I'm starting to get freaked. I mean, you got Glover Teixeira. Think about that. Glover's fighting Jan Blachowicz. Both of those guys, 40-year-old guys coming up. It's making me wonder. Sean O'Malley, Luke Rockhold is a douche. Yeah, Captain. It's kind of funny Sean O'Malley calling people a douche, though. Like, it's kind of wild. Oh, what do you think about Paddy Pimblett? I'll get back to this in a second. Paddy Pimblett's ducking. He's ducking, what's his face? I reached out to him, too, today. But, I always reach out to these guys last minute, expecting them. Jared Gordon. I did a Daniel Cormier. I forgot Jared Gordon's name. Jared Gordon, a Flash that just fought. I'm 40. That's why I'm here, man. That's why I'm here. Could never get punched in the face for a living, even when I was 20. But, yeah, Paddy Pimblett, he said he signed a contract, so he's ready to go, and then Jared Gordon threw out there, like, Twitter thumbs or some shit like that. So apparently he's not fighting Jared Gordon. I'm curious who Paddy Pimblett's going to have next. The baddie. The baddie's coming back. But anyway, speaking of hype trains, O'Malley saying Rockhold's a douche. And I mean, where could he come up with that? Who's a bigger douche, Sean O'Malley or Rockhold? I'm pretty sure most people will say Rockhold. But who's the bigger douche? Although Rockhold lately has been pretty interesting. He's been saying some pretty funny shit. All right, let me know in the chat. Who is the bigger douche? O'Malley or Rockhold? Let us know in the chat. I need to know. Oh, no, I see a super chat coming in that I don't want to play. Is that true? Hold on a second. I'm going to check before that super chat gets in. Oh, that's number one bullshit.
This is number one bullshit.
Oh, man. Is that true? The main event? Not like that was a spectacular main event, but...
Super chat.
Super chat. Undefeated Danny.
Holly Holm out of her main event.
Oh,
Injury.
man.
Weary face.
Ooh, so what do you make, Arlovsky or you? I mean, wow, Norma Dumont is only 6-1. Look at this fight. Holly Holm was 14-5-0, former champ, versus Norma Dumont 6-1. So Holly's out. Gotta look this up. Let's go to Ariel. Let's go to Helwani. Helwani. See if he broke the story. If Ariel's on it. Yep. Look at this, Ariel. This is why you got to say Ariel's the best. Holly Holm is out in next week's main event. Oh my goodness. Oof. I mean, it's not like. Listen, I'm not saying, hey, I can't wait to see Holly Holm fight again, but she is the main event. So what do you do? Arlovsky versus Felipe? By the way, Marquez versus Wright is fun. I kind of like that fight. Jordan Wright's a lunatic. Marquez is a lunatic. That fight's actually pretty fun. Oh, man. Arlovsky versus Felipe? This card's a mess. Inchakui is good. Da Un Jung, that's a good fight. Oh, my God. Sajar Eubanks. Jim Miller? Is he the first fight on the card? Is that correct? Brandon Davis. Actually, this fight here, Batcherel versus Davis, is not bad. This is probably going to be a good scrap. Yeah, that's probably not bad. But yeah, I mean, listen, I'm grasping at straws here. It's not like it's a great, oh my gosh. Put that fight on YouTube, right? I mean, what do you, like, oof. That's a tough one for the UFC. Listen, I'm not going to go crazy. I'm not going to bash them because there's the rest of the year. Once you get past this card, the rest of the year is just blazing hot with fight cards. Fight nights, pay-per-views, they're all fucking amazing. So these next 2 weeks are going to be a little, but we could still see some good fights. I'm not going to go crazy over this. But losing Holly Holm, like, what are we going to do? Arlovsky versus Felipe, I guess, makes sense.
Wonderful, wonderful.
What do we got here?
I just released that Costa versus Vittori is on the same night of SMA. Now I'm pissed. I have to vac this on my phone with shitty internet while trying to watch what y'all are doing. That's so much work.
Yeah.
I'm pissed.
So XMMA apologized to us. We said, no, don't apologize. We're going to do the same. We're going to do it. We're gonna still do it. This is going to be the first UFC event where we're not solely paying attention to it in 5 years. But we will give like updates, and that card is good, but I think I'm hoping that XMMA finishes before the main event. That'd be great. We go XMMA and then we go straight into Costa versus Vittori. But the card's okay. It's nothing spectacular, so I'm not too worried. 267 and 268, only 1 week apart. With big fortnight of fights. It's going to be, I'm telling you, the way the UFC's ending the year, it's wild. Their pay-per-views, and even going into next year now, Ngannou and Gane in January. So, I mean, they're just hitting home runs after home runs. The fight night with Holloway and Yair Rodriguez, that shit got Kevin Holland versus Daukaus thrown back on that card. So, that's cool. We want to press pass here. We're going to work on it. You got to remember you're 16, so that's we're trying to figure out how we're going to sell that. It's not like, I think we can pull it off. I don't know if they have a post-fight press conference though. So you would probably go, are you going to be in for the weigh-ins? Are you going to be in there? The weigh-ins are probably the night before, so will you be there a night before? Or are you going to get there on Saturday? Let me know. Dana had the guy killed in the hospital to make Bkfc look bad. Dana put a hit on the guy. Oh, man. I wouldn't be surprised if people have like that twist. People are going around. Well, listen, if you're just jumping in, we're going to wind this thing down. Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder 3. I know this is an MMA channel, but this is going to save Saturday. I tell him I'm 52. Are you going to be there? All right, so if you're going to be there, then yeah, we'll talk about it with our hook, and I'm sure they can do something where they can have you cover it. We'll say that you guys are social media personalities, and we'll have whatever content you bring in, we'll show on the MMA-Holes as well. That'd be cool if you guys did interviews. If you guys put together interviews, maybe put it on like the Glove Touches channel, and we'll air the interviews. That'd be cool. Yeah, all right. We'll talk to them about it. We're definitely gonna run it by them. It's coming in a couple of weeks, October 23rd. XMMA. Looking forward to that. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Facts Mosh, these guys are the reason I started watching boxing again since Tyson retired. Yep, I'm with you, Greg. Heavyweight boxing was always something that got me, intrigued. It's so much fun. Back in the day, heavyweight boxing, the Tyson days were just electric. So to see like some actual stars, rising up again, and Tyson Fury is a G. Deontay Wilder's so much fun. 30-0-1, 42-1-1, and one of those losses is to Fury. This is just great. And the ones over there in the tie matches between the both are against each other. It's just fun, man. I like the rivalry between these two. They're selling it really good. So I'm into it. You're not going to be let down. We're 2 for 2 with these fights. It's not going to be lame. So I'll be making sure I find it on the dark web. And then we'll react to the fight night beforehand. Not this one, but UFC Fight Night. UFC Vegas 39. Bare Knuckle is going to be happening the same night. I don't know if we're going to dabble into that. Like I said, we're a little hurt by Bare Knuckle FC these days. They popped in our live chat and said they were going to send us an email. Nothing. They've ghosted us. So Bare Knuckle, I don't know. Maybe, we're just a little wounded over here on the MMA-Holes. So I don't know. I just need time to heal. I need a shave too and a beard dye, and I got to pull myself together. Guys, gals, appreciate your company tonight. Thank you for joining us. A big shout out to our sponsors, Head Rush, MysticRootsCBD.com. Both of those companies, the CBD, MysticRootsCBD.com, 20% off promo code MMA-HOLES. Head Rush, promo code MMA-HOLES for 20% off the Head Rush swag. And Poly Market, link in the description down below. Check it out. Go over to Poly Market and place your bets. Bet on your beliefs. And get that 100 bonus, courtesy of the MMA-Holes code in the description. So check it out down below for Poly Market. And like I said, we may have an announcement coming. All right, we should. The contract's been sent out, so we're just waiting for it to get inked up and ready to go. And we may have a new team member, which I'm really excited about, to add to our arsenal of sponsors. ESPN Plus, link in the live chat in the description down below. And we'll see you Friday night. If we go live tomorrow, it'll be on our second channel, not the MMA-Holes. But Friday night will definitely be live. Fuka Friday, getting ready for the big events on Saturday. And don't be an a-hole, be. And, I just want to apologize, I've apologized many times tonight because I just feel like sometimes I'm just not a good person, I just want to be better. I'm a dad now. So here on the MMA-Holes, I'd like to say an apology to absolutely fucking no one. Don't be an a-hole. Be an MMA-Hole!